When Annie regained consciousness, she realized the woman had removed the braces from her mouth, washed her body, and locked her inside a dormitory. Only then did Annie understand she had been tricked into joining a highly organized criminal ring. Moments later, two men walked in and ordered the girls to gather. The girls obediently filed out of the dorm and stood in a straight line, as if it were their first day learning to take care of kittens. For James, this exercise was about teaching obedience so they would better serve clients. But he also warned them never to think about running away, because he wasn't just the ringleader here, he was also the sheriff outside. Later, James entered Annie's dorm. He told her all she had to do was serve her clients, bathe regularly, and keep her body clean. To make his point, he showed her detailed files on her family and used them as leverage to threaten her. One day, the girls stood at the doorway as usual when Mark appeared, carrying skimpy uniforms. Each girl chosen would follow him out to carry out a task. Annie thought she'd been spared until Mark handed her one of the last two uniforms. He led them to a remote house. Annie's heart sank as fear set in. She couldn't understand. She had followed the rules, yet she still had to endure such torment. When she resisted, Mark threatened her life if she didn't obey. Helpless under the weight of his threats, Annie could only walk forward before being subjected to brutal abuse. Afterward, she broke down in tears in the corner, devastated. She regretted not listening to her mother's warnings. If she had, she wouldn't have ended up here. In her heart, she made a vow. She had to survive and escape. Her chance finally came when Mark brought her to a client's house. Annie entered the room with a smile, but when Mark's attention shifted, she slipped away. For a moment, freedom seemed within reach, until Mark caught up and pinned her to the ground. Dozens of bystanders watched, but not a single person helped. They simply stood and watched as she was dragged away. Word of the incident eventually reached the sheriff. Disappointed in Mark's failure, the sheriff warned him that if something like this happened again, he wouldn't hesitate to replace him. Enraged, Mark unleashed all his fury on Annie. He locked her inside a metal barrel, ordered his men to pour in ice, and told her this would teach her a lesson. But even as her body froze, Annie never gave up on the thought of escaping.